Alrighty then.
So normally our content on this channel is original programming. From time to time, however, we have taken moments out to acknowledge things going on in actual wrestling. So let's talk about it. Right now, there's this big debate going on about a recent event that took place on Monday Night Raw. The final segment leading up to this year's WrestleMania, which looks to be the worst in decades, was a moment with The Undertaker, CM Punk, and Paul Heyman pretending to be Paul Bearer. While there are people clearly on both sides of this argument, fellow YouTuber The Wrestling Jesus has been adamant, saying that WWE crossed the line, and he makes his arguments. But I'll say this. He says that the WWE asked the sons of Mr. Moody, Paul Bearer, for permission. The WWE does not need anyone's permission to have done that segment. It was proper that they asked. It was courteous that they let them know what was going on, but it wasn't necessary. Paul Bearer is a character that they own the likenesses to, much like when they had the fake Razor Ramon and fake Diesel. So what they wanted to do, they were going to do one way or another. Now, is it in the greatest taste? That's to be debated. I think a lot of people have lost sight of the real reason behind this. It was not meant to be a derogatory move. It was not meant to insult or defame the memory of Paul Bearer, the character, or William Moody, the person. What it was to generate more energy, not only behind the match, which God knows it needed help, but also it is another way of paying homage to the legend of Paul Bearer. He will still be a part of WrestleMania, even though he won't physically be there. And one of the things that I said is if Paul Bearer, if William Moody in real life knew he was dying of cancer and wouldn't be around for WrestleMania, and Vince McMahon went up to him and told him, this is the angle we're thinking of running, how do you feel about it? I think he would have signed off on it. I think he would have said thank you, because he would have realized that even in death, he would have been a part of the biggest wrestling event of the year. And what better way can you pay homage to a man than that? When they gave the Academy Award to Heath Ledger, was that in any way different? This is just a different world that they operate in. Wrestling isn't the same as professional sports, hockey, football, baseball, basketball. It's different. You don't have that type of environment. It is the circus. They admit it. We all as fans know it. So you can take it seriously or you can take it for what it is. They put his character in a key pivotal role leading into a big match at WrestleMania. That is in no way defaming. That is in no way insulting. Now, one of the comments he makes a lot is that the WWE is profiting from his death. To say that, quite frankly, is ludicrous, because there is, I don't think, a single person decided, yeah, I'm going to pay $70 now because of that angle. First off, I think anyone paying $70 to watch a wrestling show should have their head examined. You can watch it for free on the internet. You can download a torrent 5 hours later. There's no way in hell I'm paying $70. 30 days later, it'll be on DVD for $25. Sticking to the point of this video, though, this is not the same as the Katie Vick incident. That was what turned me off of watching WWE for over a year, when they got to the point where they thought crawling into a casket and having sex with a dead person was entertainment. This is part of a 20-year storyline coming to conclusion. And whether you think it's a little bit tasteless or not, this is the circus world they live in. These are the stories that they have always presented. And I would say if there was a mistake made, it was not letting the Sons know they probably don't want to watch tonight's episode. It may be a little tough, but they didn't do anything wrong. in the execution of that final cut scene. Now, much like the Wrestling Jesus, that's just my opinion. He's entitled to his opinion, I'm entitled to mine, everyone else is entitled to theirs. Here's the difference between the Wrestling Jesus and myself. On his video, he put a claimer in there saying, anyone who wants to disagree with me will be automatically banned from my channel. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit right there, and I'm just gonna say it like it is, and if you want to ban me, my friend, go right ahead. I've always enjoyed your channel, I find you pretty entertaining, but to say you're not gonna welcome people with a countering point of view is narrow-minded on your part, sir. Especially when you consider the fact that you are in the vast minority of people on this issue. WrestleMania 29 is going to probably go down as one of the all-time worst. First off, you already know the winners to most of the matches. You know there's no way in hell that The Rock is going to win the title, or retain the title, I should say. And if he does, by some fluke, then he's only going to have it for a few minutes because Dolph Ziggler will come out and take it from him, so he has enough time left to go out and film his next movie. You know that Triple H is not retiring because when they can't get The Rock, or they can't get Brock Lesnar to show up for one of his 5 scheduled dates, they need Triple H to come riding in to save the day and try to get a few buy rates up. So he ain't going nowhere. You know the winner of that match. The Undertaker streak, it could go. It doesn't even matter at this point. They've done a lot of injustice to it by letting him go beyond the 20-0 mark. 20-0 was the number you should have ended it on. At this point in time, it really just doesn't matter anymore. He's too old to be believable. I doubt very seriously he'll be able to put on a great match. That said, him at 50% is still better than a lot of guys at 100%. Jack Swagger's lucky to still have a job. There's no way in hell they're putting a belt around the guy for a DUI. I just don't see there's nothing about this card that makes me even want to watch it. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I'm gonna download the stupid thing the next day. I honestly, for the first time in 29 years, could give a shit less about WrestleMania.